Welcome to channel Biology for Everyone. Dear students, today I will discuss about the classification of algae. Look here, the basis of classification. The main basis of classification is photosynthetic pigment and other bases are reserve food or storage food and then cell wall component. On that basis, algae is divided into three classes. These are chlorophyceae or green algae, phaeophyceae or brown algae, and rhodophyceae or red algae. Now, the characteristics features of chlorophyceae. Number 1, habitat. They may live in snow, that is they are cryophyte. That is live on snow. Example, Chlamydomonas nivalis. Next, they may live in fresh water like Spirogyra, Chlamydomonas divarianum, etc. Spirogyra, example Spirogyra, Volvox, etc. They may live in marine water. Example, Chlorella, Acetabularia, etc. Okay. Next, epizoic live outside animal body, that is cladophora, live on mollusk shell. Next, they may be endozoic, that is live within animal body. Example, Zuchlorella live inside body of Hydra. They may be parasite in nature, that is live with other host. Example, Cephalovirus causes red rot disease in tea and coffee. Next, as symbiont, that is Trebouxia. They form lichen. Okay, these are the different habitat, and on that basis of the habitat they are of different types. Next, about green algae. These are most advanced algae. Next point, they are advanced algae. Green algae are advanced algae among the all three algae, because number one character, cell wall components, that is cellulose and pectose, similar with hair plant. Number two, they are some type of chlorophyll, that is chlorophyll A and chlorophyll B, like that of hair plant. Unlike other algae. Number 3, common storage food. Number 3, common storage food, common storage food, storage food, that is starch, that is starch with that of the higher plant. Next, vegetative body or plant body. Mean next point, number 2 point, vegetative body or main plant body, main plant body, main plant body, main plant body. There main plant body may be they show greater variation, they show greater variation, maybe unicellular form, maybe unicellular form, number 1, maybe unicellular. When unicellular, they are of 2 types, non-motile type, non-motile type, or motile type, or motile type, motile type, motile type. Non-motile type, example chlorella, acetabularia, largest unicellular alga. It is largest unicellular alga and look like umbrella, also called umbrella plant, Look like this is nucleus, this is cap, this is cap, this is cap, this is stalk, this is stalk, this is rhizoid, this is nucleus, okay, nucleus, largest unicellular alga, alga 10 centimeter in breadth, 10 centimeter in width, chlorella, this is look like this, and they possess a disc-shaped chloroplast. This is nucleus, this is disc-shaped chloroplast, this is chlorella, and motile type, unicellular motile type is chlamydomonas, look like this. They possess cup-shaped chloroplast, and chloroplast contain 1 pyrimide and 1 stigma, 2 blephoroplast and 2 isocon type of flagella arise from blephoroplast, possess 2 contractile vacuole. This is chloroplast, okay. This is isocon type of flagella, flagella. This is blephoroplast, from which flagella arise, blephoroplast, etc. Okay. These are unicellular form. Then next form, multicellular. Multicellular form. Multicellular, these may be branched or unbranched, maybe unbranched or maybe branched. Unbranched, example Spirogyra, Eulothrix, Edogonia, etc. Okay. And branched, Cladophora, cladophora. This cladophora possess diploid zoospores. Already in my previous class I have discussed about zoospores, and in that section I also mentioned it is cladophora, and experimenting on this alga by T.W. Engelmann discovered PS1 and PS2, that is photosynthetic spectrum in photosynthesis. Okay. Next next colonial. Next form, there is two form, three form colonial. Colonial also two form, that is motile and non-motile. Non-motile and motile. Non-motile form, example hydrodiction, and motile form, example volvox, pandorina, eudorina, etc. Okay, these are multicellular form, colonial, and multicellular, and some are parenchymatous, seed-like structure, parenchymatous, like alva, the inhabitant of Scotland. This alga is used as salad. Okay. About Eleutheryx and Spirogyra is called pond silk. It is called pond wool. And it is called pond silk because their outer wall is pectoge, and when pectoge comes in contact with water, they forms a gelatinous sheet, and when sun ray fall on it, it looks silky, shiny. So it is called pond silk and it is pond wool. Okay. Next about cell wall. Cell wall. You know that in my previous class I have told you that in all algae the vegetative body possesses cellulose and in most cases pectoge. So cell wall here also, outer wall pectoge, and inner wall cellulose. Inner wall consists of cellulose. Okay, cellulose. Next, photosynthetic pigment. Photosynthetic pigment. About photosynthetic pigment, chlorophyll, number one, chlorophyll, carotene, and xanthophyll. Chlorophyll, main chlorophyll is chlorophyll A and chlorophyll V. Next, carotene, always beta carotene. Already in my previous class I have told you beta carotene, always beta carotene. And xanthophyll, here main xanthophyll is luteaxanthin and vialoxanthin. Okay, these are the main pigment system. Next about food reserve. food reserve, mainly starch, mainly starch, mainly starch, sometimes oil droplet, sometimes oil droplet. Okay, sometimes oil droplet. Next about chloroplast. Next about chloroplast. Chloroplast. Chloroplast, they are of different type. Maybe discoid cell, maybe discoid cell, discoid shape, maybe girdle shaped or horseshoe shaped, girdle shaped or horseshoe shaped, horseshoe shaped. Next, maybe plate like, maybe star like or astar like, star like, maybe reticulate type, maybe spiral type, spiral shaped, About discoid type example, chlorella and cara, chlorella and cara. Cara, it is a stonewort, also called stonewort, due to possessing calcium carbonate as mineral substance in the cell wall. Stonewort. Girdle shaped or spiral shaped, shoe shaped, that is horseshoe shaped. Example, Elothrix. Plate like Fistula. Star like Gygnema. Under Gygnemalis, in which Spirogyra is also included. Gygnema. Reticulate, Edogonium, and spiral sets, of course, Spirogyra. Okay, these are the various shaped chloroplasts are found in different members of chlorophyceae. Next, about storage food. Storage food, already I have told you that chloroplast, each chloroplast contain one or more pyrenoid, one in chlamydomonas, more in Spirogyra. Pyrenoid is protein molecule ensithed by, it is protein molecule ensithed by starch sheath, Look like this. This is protein, this is starch, this is pyrenoid. Okay. Now we discuss about reproduction. Reproduction is of three types. First, vegetative, second, asexual, and third one is obviously sexual. vegetative reproduction accomplishes through by fragmentation, and it is found commonly in filamentous algae. Example, filamentous algae like Spirogyra, Edogonium, Eulothrix, etc. Next, asexual. Most cases, asexual reproduction accomplishes through zoospores that or planospores, mainly zoospores mainly. In addition with, they also perform asexual reproduction through asexual spores, that is aplanospores, acinids, hymnospores, etc. About zoospores, already I have discussed in a previous class. Zoospores are wall-less, that is naked, only protoplast is present, and they are formed within a special sac-like structure called zoosporangium, and they are formed endogenously. Zoospores are always pear-shaped or pyriform in case of green alga, and they bear isocont flagella, anteriorly inserted isocont flagella. Zoospores generally haploid, but I have told just a minute before that in cladophora, zoospores are diploid. Okay, and these are zoospores. Aplanospores and zoospores are always produced in favorable condition, but the aplanospore, akinete, hymnospores are produced in unfavorable condition. Okay. Now, sexual reproduction actually accomplishes through two substages, that is conjugation and syngamy. In my previous class I have discussed conjugation and syngamy. Syngamy further three types, that is isogamy, anisogamy, and oogamy. Conjugation, it is found in filamentous alga like Spirogyra. Example, Spirogyra. And isogamy, where two motile and morphologically alike gamete, one is +10, another is -10, fuse, and ultimately zygospore is formed. Example, Chlamydomonas dibarianum, cladophora, ectocarpus, Eulothrix, etc. And anisogamy, it is found in Chlamydomonas brownie. Oogamy, found in Chlamydomonas oogamum. Chlamydomonas attactogamos, and Chlamydomonas coxifera, and other algae, Volvox, like Volvox, Cara, etc. Okay, and in case of oogamy, anisogamy, here two motile gamete, one is large and one is small. Two motile gamete comes in contact and produce zygospores, obviously opposite stem. But in oogamy, the female gamete is restricted within oogonium. This is oogonium and this is sperm. Come from antheridium through water. When sperm comes through water, then this journey is called judeogamy. This is primitive type. Among 3 types, oogamy is advanced type, but during reaching of male gamete towards ovum, this is ovum or egg, accomplished through water medium, then it is called judeogamy. When male gamete reach to female gamete through siphon or tube, like pollen tube in case of gymnosperm, angiosperm, then it is called siphonogamy. Okay, siphonogamy. So, and about the sex organ, their sex organ already discussed. Sex organ unicellular, of course, unicellular and jacketless, that is no sterile jacketless. Male sex organ generally known as antheridium, and female sex organ known as oogonium. But in case of Cara, that is stonewort, freshwater alga, here the male sex organ multicellular, male and female sex organ multicellular, and known as globule by some scientists, globule. Here each and every cell is fertile, and female sex organ also multicellular, and known as nucleus. Okay, these are the reproduction about chlorophyce. Next, I discuss some economic importance. Okay. Economic importance of green alga. Economic importance of green algae. Okay, economic importance. Number 1, codium and alpha are usually used as salad. Codium and alpha used as salad after drying and salting. After drying and salting. After drying and salting, and by European country. Number 2, Chlorella pyrenoides. Chlorella pyrenoidosa. used as food source and oxygen source by space traveler and also used as disposal of CO2 and organic wastes during prolonged space flight, during prolonged space flight. Okay. Number 3, Cephalourus virescens. Cephalourus virescens causes red rust disease in tea and coffee, tea leaf and coffee leaves. Okay. Next, chlorelin. Antibiotic chlorelin. It is antibiotic is obtained from chlorella. Okay, chlorella. Number 5, SCP, single cell protein. After spirulina, most amount of after spirulina, that is blue green algae, maximum amount of single cell protein is produced from chlorella. Okay, chlorella. Now we discuss about next class, that is Phaeophyceae. Phaeophyceae, also called brown algae or seaweed. Okay. First point, habitat. They are mostly marine. Okay, mostly marine. About next point, mean plant body or vegetative body. Plant body or vegetative body. They show great variation in their size and form. Show great variation in size and form. They may be filamentous. In lower form. filamentous in lower forms like ectocarpus. Where isomorphic alternation of generation is found. Next, parenchyma structure in higher forms and parenchyma structure in higher form and parenchymatous structure in higher form like example sargassum, some laminaria, fucus, etc. Laminaria, fucus, etc. But no unicellular forms is found. No unicellular forms is known. No unicellular form is known. Unlike the other groups, no unicellular form is known. Okay. Next, brown algae include the largest algae. Brown algae include the largest algae, and you know then these largest algae are generally called kelps. Largest algae commonly called kelps. Actually, the members under the order Laminarialis are called kelps. Here, the largest kelp is Macrocystis and Neurocystis. Macrocystis and Neurocystis. It is 100 meter in length. Next, plant body consists of 3 parts. Plant body consists of 3 parts. That is, upper part is front. Upper part is called front or lamina. Leafy structure, green structure, and photosynthetic part. Front. Next, lower part, the middle part, that is stripe or stalk. It is conducting part. And often this structure contains a special structure known as trumpet hyphae. Often possess trumpet hyphae. Vascular tissue-like structure possess trumpet hyphae. And it helps in conduction of food material from lamina to holdfast. Holdfast, that is lower part. And trumpet hyphae is analogous to sheep tube of angiosperm or gymnosperm. Angiosperm. Analogous to sheep tube. This indicate the precursor of the vascular tissue. That is, in next group it produce the vascular tissue, And you know, from that point of view, we can say that from this group, pteridophyte are formed. But chlorophycean groups are most advanced because from there these are the ancestors of the all plant group. Next part strive and hold fast. Next part, lower part is hold fast. Hold fast. Hold fast, mind it, though hold fast is the characteristic features of the pheophycean member, but in some chlorophycean member also this structure is found, that is Spirogyra adnata and Spirogyra jugensis. Those Spirogyra is free floating alga, unbranched alga, but some species, that is Spirogyra adnata and Spirogyra jugensis, also possess this. Look like that, this is Spirogyra jugensis and this is hold fast. This is hold fast. This is Spirogyra adnata or jugensis, adnata, like laminaria, sargassum, etc. Adnata, Spirogyra jugensis. This species jugensis also bears hold fast. So this hold fast, it acts as, it helps in attachment of the, helps in attachment of the body with the bottom of the reservoir water body, helps in attachment. Okay. A few species of sargassum and fucus, look here, a few species of sargassum and fucus, they are free floating. A few species of sargassum and fucus, a few species of sargassum and fucus, are free floating, Actually, sargassum is called gulpweed, and they are found in huge amount and covering a few hectare area of North Atlantic Ocean. Okay. So these are called Sargasso Sea. So North Atlantic Ocean is called Sargasso Sea or gulpweed. It is also called gulpweed. Okay, free floating alga, etc. Now, free floating forms, they are menace for shipping industries. That is, they are menace for shipping industry, because they get attached, with the bottom of the ship, bottom of ship. Okay, bottom of ship. The large form often possess air vesicle. The large form also possess air vesicles. The large form is scales. It may be laminaria, it may be fucus, etc. The large form often possess air vesicle or air bladder, vesicles or air bladder or air receptacle, which provides buoyancy, Okay. Now about the cell wall. Cell wall. Like other alga, they also possess inner cellulose, and outer possess mucilaginous layer, outer possess mucilaginous layer, mucilaginous layer and polysulfated and phycocolloid or hydrocolloid, or hydrocolloid. These are also found in hydrocolloid. These are also found in red algae in the next group. These hydrocolloid or phycocolloid are actually non-sulfated polysaccharide. These are actually non-sulfated polysaccharide. These are actually non-sulfated polysaccharide, and most common polysaccharide here are alginic acid, fucoidine and fusin. Alginic acid, fucoidine and fusin, and fusin. Okay, fusin. These are non-sulfated polysaccharide, but in red algae it is sulfated polysaccharide, that is carrageenan. When we discuss red algae, I will further discuss. Next, brown color of algae is due to brown color of algae is due to brown color of algae is due to presence of fucoxanthin, one type of fucoxanthin, and due to variable amount of fucoxanthin, different shades of brown color is found in different members. Due to different amount of fucoxanthin, different shades of brown color is visible in different members of this group. Next, photosynthetic pigment. Photosynthetic pigment. Like other algae, these are also three main types, that is chlorophyll, number 2 keratin and xanthophyll. Okay. Type of chlorophyll is chlorophyll A and C. Type of chlorophyll is chlorophyll A and chlorophyll C. Keratin, always beta carotene, and about xanthophyll is fucoxanthin, and due to abundance of it, the brown color is visible. Okay, brown color is visible. Now about cell possesses next is stored food. Next character, stored food or reserve food. That is laminin starch, and mannitol. Okay, laminin and mannitol. Some cells possess retractable vesicles. Some cells possess Some cell, this is a special character. Some cell possess some cells possess refractile vesicles. Refractile vesicles which contains fucosan. It is a polyphenol compound. Fucosans contain fucosans. It is a polyphenol compound. Okay, polyphenol compound. It is colorless. When so due to this, when they lie towards the surface water, they are colorless, and when they deep water, they colorless, but when they come in contact with air, they becomes colored. Okay, and about their reproduction. Now about their reproduction. Here also three types of reproduction is found, that is vegetative, asexual and sexual. Vegetative, asexual and sexual. About vegetative reproduction by fragmentation, obviously found in filamentous algae. Vegetative reproduction, and that is by fragmentation. Example, ectocarpus sargassum, etc. Ectocarpus sargassum, etc. Okay. Next, asexual reproduction. Here also asexual reproduction accomplishes through different types of zoospores. By zoospores formation. Here zoospores are of two types, that is unimorphic, that is zoospores are formed plurilocular and unilocular. Two types, unilocular and unilocular. That is, zoospores are produced in two types of zoosporangium, unilocular and plurilocular. When unilocular, in case of unilocular zoospores, they produce unilocular zoosporangium, zoosporangium. It produce zoospores by meiosis. Okay, actually these are most of them they show haplodiploidic type of life cycle, that is, in their life cycle two vegetative body, that is diploid vegetative body and haploid vegetative body is found. When zoospores are produced in diploid body and produce zoospores by meiosis, the zoospores are haploid. When zoospores from unilocular zoosporangium, zoospores will become haploid. Okay, and when zoospores are produced from plurilocular zoosporangium, they are produced by mitosis. So the zoospores produced here are diploid. Okay, diploid. Now zoospores which after producing on germination, they produce their gametotic body. These haploid zoospores on germination produce gametophytic male haploid gametotic body, and diploid zoospores on germination produce diploid gametotic body. So in this way, in their life cycle, two types of vegetative body is produced. These two types of vegetative body may be similar in their structure, then they show isomorphic alternation generation, which is found in ectocarpus species. And when two vegetative body are different, they show heteromorphic alternation of generation which is found in laminaria. Okay. So about their life cycle, and about fucus, sargassum, they are fucus, sargassum, they show diplontic type of life cycle, and the rest ones show haplontic type of life cycle. So here three types of life cycles are found, that is haplontic, diplontic and haplodiplontic. So their life cycle, mainly diplontic and haplodiplontic, mainly diplontic, example fucus, and haplodiplontic, example ectocarpus and laminaria, Ectocarpus isomorphic alternation of generation. Ectocarpus, it show isomorphic alternation, isomorphic alternation of generation, and it shows laminaria shows heteromorphic alternation of generation, heteromorphic alternation of generation, alternation of generation. Okay, generation. Now about their economic importance. Now discuss about their economic importance. Number 1, economic importance. Number 1, source of iodine and bromine. Source of iodine and bromine. Source of iodine and bromine. Fucus laminaria are rich in fucus laminaria are rich in bromine and iodine. Potash is also abundant in macrocystis and nereocystis. Potash is also found in macrocystis, that is largest kelp, macrocystis and nereocystis. Okay. Next medicines. Sodium laminarin sulfate. Next medicine. Sodium laminarin sulfate is used as blood anticoagulating agent. Sodium laminarin sulfate. Used in blood anticoagulant. Next, food. Laminaria sargassum also used as edible. Laminaria sargassum used as used as food, and they are also used as fodder. They are also used as fodder. Okay, fodder. And alginic acid. Next, about alginic acid. Alginic acid. These are obtained from macrocystis, laminaria, etc. obtained from the wall of laminaria macrocystis, nereocystis, fucus sagacum, etc. Salt of alginic acid, that is especially sodium salt and potassium salt, that is sodium alginate and potassium alginate, used as density measurement. I think you may have the idea who have gone to the dentist. Salt of alginic acid are used in forming emulsion, forming emulsifier, emulsion in thickening agent of ice cream, toothpaste, shampoo, etc. Okay. Next about rhodophycy.